So here we are with The Dangers in My Heart, or BokuYaba for all the manga readers. I love this series. It is one of my favorite rom-coms, which I don't really say a lot because I don't really have a favorite rom-com until BokuYaba, obviously. So I'm very excited for the anime adaptation. I haven't really seen any of the trailers. I think I've heard only a snippet of Ichikawa's voice, but that's basically it. And currently, right now, with my feelings on anime adaptations, the bar is very low. So I have to say, the anime for BokuYaba, honestly, they just need to do good, and it'll be like way beyond my expectations at the moment. I remember learning about the manga because of a meme, which then got me to take a look at the manga, and it made me realize that this is from the same mangaka as Mitsudomoe, and well, I remember from Mitsudomoe is that I liked it as a kid, but I don't know how I'd feel about it if I were to watch it today. But I did come into the series with the expectation of the crude humor or the crude dialogues that Norio tends to write when it comes to Mitsudomoe. So I kind of had that sort of expectation. I didn't realize that this was going to be the way that it is, and I absolutely love it. It's one of the series that I love just going back and reading it again, just to see all the small little details that, you know, Norio has put into I don't know why. Every time I think of sorry, I don't know why I'm calling her Sakurai. Every time I think of the mangaka, I'm thinking of her Twitter handle, which is Lovely Pig. But I love all the details that Sakurai puts into it, and if you know my Iruma reactions, I'm also a big fan of Iruma, which is also one of my favorite manga series, and you can kind of see a bit of a pattern between these two, which are my favorites, and that they love build-ups, and they love putting all these minute little details that come to play later on, and it is fantastic. It makes everything a great reread, and you can see where everything starts to click, and it's very nice. Anyways, I'm gonna stop gushing about the manga. I want to see the first episode and see how it is. I'm very excited, but as with a lot of anime adaptations for series that I like, I'm a little scared and anxious. But if you guys enjoy the content, remember to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't, and if you didn't like the content, dislike the video, and we'll be on our way. Let's get started. Out here reading the murder encyclopedia. You what? Boys, am I right? Try it out! The fucking stinger, bro. Look at this man in the shadows and everything. God, the fucking piano and the menacing music. And it just ends like that with a fucking school bell. Yamada's VA is also the same as Liney's. Oh. Just nod. Just nod. You'll be fine. Yeah, this is my safe space. Well, no one is here after all. It is the perfect time for murder. I should observe her. She had like a big rice ball and now she's, There's always time for snacks. Wait, was that consomme flavor? Wait, with the rice ball. Oh, social studies. No, dude, she's just that confident. She's gonna go straight from her. She's. I was gonna say she's prepared for college, but I don't know. God, this change in music. But she needs a box cutter. Literally? Alright. I don't know about you, but all I heard was Liney in that thank you. Hey, he's like a little shy little high school girl. But you're planning on killing her with that box cutter, right? I bet you There were a lot of chips in there. How did you manage to take everything with one? As long as I didn't throw it away, it's not my bad. Logic. Ah, it just keeps restarting, huh? Oh, I think that's the first chapter. This is similar to the previous one. My sharp tools in her. Well then. What a fucking weirdo. If you were just holding a box cutter. Well, she saw you looking at her before. Alright, I think you're just... He couldn't argue with Moeka. I don't know why, Moeka looks a little taller. Moeka's basted. She's out here talking about the two-party system. Maybe she's just got some spice in her eyes, you know? Okay, she literally started working after she was snacking for like, how many minutes? They're not looking at her, they're looking at the helicopter. Well, she got over it, you know? Like I said, maybe she just had some spicy things in her eyes. Want an ass kicking? Genius of a creep. Friends with benefits. Okay. First of all, you guys are all in high school. You're all thinking with your dicks. Oh, here's Hara. That's your diet? Yeah, this boy's already making his move and everything. Hold on, Yamada is like literally right here. Look at her. Oh! She's not getting the. She's not. Oh, Kanzaki. Oh, Kanzaki. Oh. Oh. Damn, she's got a mighty terrible cough right now. Is that a horse? There's just two. Oh shit. What? Mission accomplished. See ya. Look at that sign that says no food right there. Or no burgers. Oh, who's that? Man's quick, dude. Well, yeah, at least you had a good excuse, huh? Hide it behind a 100 horror story book? Straight in the trash. Why, she's too good for you? Wow, and that fucking piano with a, with a shooting star. Oh! Yeah, I wonder. I wonder. He kind of looks a little spooky with actual eyes. Is that the first time I've ever heard his name? After all this time. Well, you're not her friend, so she can't read your mind. Ooh! Wait, no, they're not in high school, they're in middle school. I just remembered. There's like nobody else on the street. Alright, dude. She said no. She said no several times, my guy. What the fuck do you want? Like, and now you just gotta keep her here? Like, excuse me, bro? Ah, nothing like a low coercion, am I right? I wonder, huh? Damn, dude. Man threw it so hard, he fucking dented his own wheels. Whoa there! No need to fucking call him out! For a bike? keep thinking those are vampire bites on her neck, but no, she just got 2 moles. Wow. And we're just gonna end it like that. A nice, sweet moment between them. I was stolen away. Alright, I had a little bit of a refresher, so it's time to go back to the center. Alright, so that was the first episode of The Dangers in My Heart. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty great starter. You know, it introduces us to our 2 main characters and introduces us to their little quirks. With Ichikawa, you know, he's a little obsessed with murder. He's out here with his murder encyclopedia and, you know, out here carrying his little box cutter and everything. You know, he's a little obsessive with murder, and his current murder target is Yamada, although you can kind of see that it's a little bit more like a crush that he has on Yamada. It's just, he doesn't really know what he should be doing with that, you know, so he's just masking it up with the idea of murder instead. And then we have Yamada, who on the outside, you know, perhaps seems like the perfect girl. She's also a model for a magazine. She's a lot taller than all the other girls. And like I said, on the outside, perhaps she seems like the perfect girl, but we started to see all the little quirks that makes Yamada unique. I would say she's a bit of a glutton. She loves eating. She can't really read the room all that much when it came to Kanzaki and Hada coming in. You know, Kanzaki was trying to get to know Hada a little bit better, you know, perhaps ask her out eventually. And Yamada was just in the room, not really understanding what was going on until it was too late. She also wanted people to recognize her for her work as well. So when she was in the magazine model, you know, she was out here waiting for the girls to recognize her because she wants to do a little signature. You know, she wants to get introduced to the whole stardom and stuff. I do have one nitpick that I'll talk about towards the end if I remember it. But I'm really liking the music selection so far. I really appreciate how they did the beginning with introducing Ichikawa as the murder-obsessed guy. You know, he's like, I'm really messed up in the head. He said that like at least 3 times in this episode. He's quite messed up in the head and everything. And I love that like sinister sound, the stinger that was coming in, and then it all just gets cut off when it was lunchtime because, you know, he's done role playing. It's time for lunch, so it's time for him to go to the library where nobody else is except for Yamada. And then, you know, the music that comes after that, you know, very lighthearted, very I was gonna say 1 beat. It's technically like a 2 beat. But yeah, I very much have been enjoying the way that they've been playing the music. Kind of like with when Ichikawa was looking at the magazine and then he realized that Yamada is completely out of his league, or as he says, she's like a complete stranger in this magazine. So he tosses it in the trash and he starts to think about like, yeah, so me and Yamada, we're on 2 different planets. And then we have a little flashback of him looking at the exam numbers, you know, because like he was taking an exam for a school and it looks like he didn't pass because he was 1503 and there wasn't 1503 on the board. So, you know, we're getting a little flashback to his, I was gonna say his childhood, but he is technically experiencing his childhood right now. So, I mean, it's not his child, it's adolescence. There you go. Or teenagehood? I don't know what it's called for. Anyways, I like while he was thinking about that, we get to hear that like fast piano that was going, and it just all accumulated to him looking at the magazine and him just being like, well, you know, I might as well give it a use, you know, I bought it and everything. And it just ends with a fucking shooting star, and I'm just like, wow, these fuckers. Very nice. So I've really been enjoying the music selection. The one thing that's kind of got me a little bit, not to say confused, but I guess I kind of was confused a bit because I genuinely thought they were high schoolers, even though I've been reading the manga all this time and I know that they're in middle school. It's because of the art style and how everybody kind of looks a little taller than I expected. like, even though we haven't really heard her name, but I just ended up saying Moeka because, I mean, she's my favorite character. But like, she looks a little taller than I expected. But again, it's like the art style. It's replicating the current art style of the manga, but there's a slight difference to it. You can kind of see it, but it's also a little weird because, you know, whenever I reread the manga, I'm so used to seeing the initial style because Sakurai, as she continued making more and more volumes, the art style eventually changes and it starts to look like how the anime is, except again the anime looks a little different in terms of the style. So it was a little odd for me to like watch the beginning and them having, you know, the kind of current art style with the current art style of the current of the current chapters. I don't know where that sentence was going. But yeah, that was just an odd little thing, but I'll probably just get used to it immediately by the next episode or whatever. I might as well just get this out of the way, but the little nitpick that I have with this episode is that it kind of merged chapter 3 and 4 together, but it kind of cut off a part of chapter 4 that I really like in terms of like the minor details. And so I wonder if they're going to go back to it in the next episode. I wonder, but it is something that I really like, again, in terms of like the small minor details. So it will be a little sad to see that it's not there, but it's not really, I don't really think it's gonna like hurt the story or anything if it's not shown, but I do wonder if they're going to showcase it. Speaking of those 2 chapters, and we see the boys, you know, being boys, talking to each other, and even though I thought they were in high school because of the art change, but they're in middle school, their hormones are running all over the fucking place, so of course, the one thing that they're gonna be talking about is sex, and that was the one thing that, you know, I kind of came in expecting because I had previously seen Mitsudomoe, which is quite the crude anime, so I expected this sort of crude talk or humor. So, you know, we've got our boy, Adachi, who is out here talking with the other 2 boys about, who was the guy? Was it Ota, the bigger kid who was talking about jerking off with a toilet roll? Boys, they will do anything to get a nut. My favorite part of that conversation is not that he told the other boys about the fact that he used a toilet roll as as you know, as something to get him off. It's the fact that he's like, I recommend it. You should try it. You should try out this method. Fantastic, dude. And then towards the end, we had Paimon. I think that's what the manga kind of ended up calling him. But yeah, the fact that he actually said his name, I'm just kind of like, whoa, he actually has a name that I've completely forgotten. But he looks, in terms of like odd, you know, that odd feeling, he looks a little odd to me to see that he actually has, I forgot what those white spots are for your eyes, you know, because like we always see him with just like the eyelash and then the line that is his pupil. So like he's always had that certain look to him, so like the fact that they actually give him something that looks like actual eyes is a little spooky. But, you know, we're not really getting a good first impression of him right now because he's literally out here just hitting on Yamada. And Yamada, unfortunately, can't say no straight out to him, you know, in case he might get angry or something. And she just keeps trying to put him off, you know, just keep trying to, oh, what's line and all that. And it's just like, dude, she's obviously saying no. But, you know, he's obviously going through the tactic of just whittle them down until they have to say yes, and then that's a win for you somehow, you know. So he's just out here fucking holding her back and being like, hey, seriously, give me your line. And it's just like, is this a threat? Like, you're fucking grabbing onto me, like, chill. You know, a little fucking spooky, which is why when Ichikawa threw that fucking bike, you know, kind of saved her from that dilemma. Although I kind of have this suspicion that Kobayashi might have just come and saved her, but We'll never know. We'll never know. The one conversation that she was having with Paimon, I don't know why I just completely forgotten his name again, but she was talking about how it's great to be complimented as a funny guy, you know? So, you know, he goes and he says, "You're pretty funny, you know that?" And then immediately that's when she's like, "I am? How so?" So that's the compliment that she's been waiting. So out of all the compliments that Paimon was like tossing at her, you know, like, "Oh, you look so much cuter when you're closer," and all of that, and all she was just like, "Whatever." But the moment he said, "Oh, you're funny," she lights up and she's just like, That's the exact compliment I'm looking for. A funny guy. So when Yamada asks Ichikawa why he tossed the bike, you know, he ends up making, I don't know, I guess it's a joke. You know? He's like, "Oh, I thought I stepped on the gas by accident when I thought it was the brake, even though it's a bike." But, you know, it's a little humor that catches her, you know, and we actually see her have a genuine laugh. And then, you know, we get to see that scene of the both of them looking at each other as the camera is just moving away. Very nice, you know, highlights one of the parts when, you know, she's like actually looking at him and all that. So very nice. We went through 6 chapters in that one episode, but you know, these chapters are relatively short, so understandable. But again, like I said with my nitpick, I kind of wish that we got to see the full chapter 4 instead of just a part of it. But you know, maybe we'll see it later on. And if we don't, then it's the world isn't going to burn down. Oh, the other thing that I forgot to mention was Yamada's voice actor, because I did say that she is also voiced by the same person who did Liney, and because I mentioned that, there really are some parts where I hear Liney within her. And it kind of just sounds like an energetic Liney. And I know that the VA is still like relatively new, like her roster really isn't that big, but in terms of like, you know, new VAs, I kind of feel sometimes that they have that issue of like same voice-ish, you know, where you can kind of still, it kind of sounds like another character that they voice, because it all kind of sounds a little bit samey. But you know, that's I suppose that's just something you improve later on, and I'm not a person who voice acts, so anyways, I'm about to go stir crazy from all the yelling that my nephew is doing outside. So if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.